Hello again. Welcome to today's second episode of Spilling Tea. I am your host, Tiffany Daniels. And folks, I am bringing to your attention today another group that has tried to be real sneaky, trying to get samples of DNA from autistic people. They are called Spectrum 10K. We're going to be speaking today as to why they are dangerous. This was started earlier this morning when the autistic hashtag brought to my attention this group that are seeking samples. This group is backed by Sacha Baron Cohen, someone who we're not that fond of, who insists on lack of theory of mind, extremely male mind. Excuse me, dude. Seriously, have you ever studied an autistic girl in your fucking life? No, I don't have extreme male mind. I have extreme common fucking sense. An analytical and methodical mind that doesn't make me male, you fucking sexist, ableist piece of shit. Sorry. Just saying. Just saying. Anyways, so he went on apparently BBC America, talking about how this is a study in genetics. Now, why is this dangerous? Explain to me how the fuck genetics is going to help anybody who's autistic now, which is what they tried to sell it as when they were begging us for DNA samples. Is that going to do anything to help me now? Of course it fucking isn't. You know what would goddamn help? You people, you neurotypical fucking medical community no longer treating me like I'm a fucking subhuman science experiment. That would be incredibly goddamn helpful. You medical sons of bitches, stop with the whole, you lack empathy. You're either like a male or you must be a sexless robot. Yep, fuck off, okay? Genetics is not going to help. What it's going to do is the same thing it has done in the past. What am I talking about? Several decades ago, they started doing this type of research in regards to people that have Down syndrome, the extra chromosome that causes Down syndrome. What happened when they found that marker? Well, starting from then, 75% of people who did the prenatal testing and found out that they were carrying a child with Down syndrome aborted those children. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. Your body, your choice. Yes, I 100% support that. However, why the fuck don't we deserve the right to live? People who would have otherwise chosen to have the child if the child was 100% normal. This is not extreme circumstances. These are people with the means and the ability to take care of that child and want children. But they're going to abort that child because it's not perfect. That's the goddamn problem. Just saying. You can debate me on this if you like, but don't be hateful. We are tired of people seeking to eradicate us, okay? So, let's get into it. The dangers of Spectrum 10K. This, by the way, is from Sarah Boone. If you're not following her, please do. She's a wealth of information. You can find her on Twitter. It was just an average Tuesday morning while I browsed my Twitter feed when I came across a glossy brand Spectrum 10K research project. At first glance, it may seem harmless to your average member of the public, who may think it's a good thing. It's like the sugar-coated bullshit that Autism Speaks tries to cram down our throats all the time, folks. It's real glossy, it's real flashy. But us autistics, because of all the hatred we face every single goddamn day of our lives, we've had to get real good at reading in between the lines. Guess what, society? We really can see between the lines. We really can suss out your lies. Just saying. However, as an autistic person advocating for acceptance, this is far from a glamorous research project that will improve my life. I'm worried it's a step away from eradicating people like me from existing in the future. Exactly. It's eugenics, and it's very thinly veiled as something else. What is Spectrum 10K? Here's a fancy video explaining what Spectrum 10K is. Oh God. I'll try not to break it up and rant.
Autism is a common neurodevelopmental condition that runs in families. If one person in a family is autistic, the chance that their child, brother, or parent is autistic is about 10 times higher than for an unrelated individual. This means that autism is partly influenced by a person's DNA or genes. Our genes contain instructions
At
that
least
tell
I
cells in
get
the body
that
how
part
to
right.
grow, develop, and work. Every individual on the autistic spectrum is completely unique, and therefore everyone's genetic makeup is unique. Every autistic person has unique experiences, strengths, and difficulties. Their experiences are shaped not just by their genes, but also by their environment. To really understand what contributes to well-being in autistic individuals, we need to study both their genes and their environment.
Okay, I'm sorry, but explain to me how studying my genes in any way is going to help you better understand me. There's a real easy way, and Spectrum 10K, it's free. The best way to understand autism and autistics is by fucking talking to us. Shut up, sit the fuck down, and listen to what we have to fucking say. It's not goddamn rocket science. We'll move forward here.
We need to study both their genes and their environment. The causes of autism are complex. Some scientists think that there may be thousands of genes involved. Researchers have already found more than 100 genes linked to autism, but mutations in these known genes are only found in 5% of autistic people. So, the other 95% of autistic people must carry other genes linked to autism that are still unknown. However, not everyone who has a specific change in a gene linked to autism is autistic. For example, only about 1 in 4 people missing a stretch of chromosome 16, called 16p11.2, is autistic. So, that stretch of DNA is linked to autism, but doesn't always cause autism. We need to understand why not. Furthermore,
Again, explain to me, how does this help us knowing this? How is that in any way going to improve my life? Other than trying to figure out what causes us to happen so that you can do what you've done with Down syndrome. Because that's all I can see here. I don't trust you fuckers.
Genetic changes are also often associated with other conditions such as epilepsy, intellectual disability, gut problems, and depression. As well as providing an explanation for the condition, some families may also find emotional and practical support from others who have the same changes in the same gene. Knowledge about
Oh, gee! People who are autistic find commonality and socialize amongst our other neurodiverse peers better than neurotypicals who constantly put us down, speak over us, and keep trying to tell us we don't deserve to exist. Who would have thought? And oh my God, we even back each other up, especially when injustice is happening to one of us. Gee, shocker.
Our autism genes can also help us tailor better support for individuals. For example, some autistic individuals have sleep difficulties. For some, changing the environment can help, but for others, knowing the genetics could lead to individualized care. Participating in Spectrum 10K will help us deepen our understanding of who you are. Please visit spectrum10k.org for information.
Okay, here's why I don't trust you. Because you are trying to make yourselves seem harmless. We just want to help you sleep. What if we can change your environment? What if we do this or that? Explain to me why you need to know my genetics for that. We need to know what specific kinds of medication. Then why don't you do what you've done for fucking years with neurotypicals? Do you need to go study neurotypical fucking genes to find out why they're not sleeping? No, of course you fucking don't. Not everyone with autism has sleep problems. There are a lot of neurotypicals who also have sleep problems. How about explore, as you do with a neurotypical, the things that an autistic is going through, what is going on in their day to day lives, what sensory issues or stresses that they have, in order to figure out what type of medicine or what changes in their environment where they sleep need to be made, instead of studying our fucking genetics. I don't get it. Maybe I'm missing something, but I doubt it. Treat us the same way you treat your neurotypical patients when it comes to issues that trouble both people on the spectrum and people who are not on the spectrum. Okay, Karen? It's not fucking difficult. Moving on. Spectrum 10K says they are. Spectrum 10K is the largest study of autism in the UK, and a research study involving 10,000 autistic individuals of all ages and abilities, and their relatives living in the UK. It is led by a team of researchers at the University of Cambridge, including Autism Research Center, the Singer Institute, and the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. They state they aim to investigate the genetic environmental factors that contribute to autism and related physical and mental health conditions to better understand well-being in autistic people and their families, but then conflict their aim by claiming, oh, here's where we get into the good stuff. The study will not look for a cure for autism and does not aim to eradicate autism. Every member of the Spectrum 10K values and respects autistic differences and working to promote inclusion, acceptance, and dignity for autistic people throughout society. Oh, they're clever. They're using the words. They're using their right words. Yes, I'm quoting Labyrinth. Fuck you. Bowie rules. Moving on. So to summarize, they want to investigate the genetics and environment factors that contribute to autism, but will not look for a cure for autism and does not aim to eradicate it. If they do not want to cure or eradicate autism, why are they investigating genetic and environmental factors contributing to autism? What is the motivation here? It isn't explained. Thank you. Thank you. This is why we don't trust these fuckers. They don't explain exactly why they need a sample of our DNA. Not really. They say it's to help us, but they don't explain how it's supposed to help us. Which we're sorry. I know we're a group of paranoid individuals, but we've kind of earned the right to be. And unless this place comes out and explains how genetic research is supposed to somehow make my life fucking better, instead of, oh, I don't know, maybe do a study on neurotypical society and what the outside world can do to meet us halfway so it won't be quite as fucking difficult. You want to know what would make me less likely to be so afraid to step out my goddamn door? Not getting fucking stared at like I'm a fucking sideshow monkey every time I do so much as go to the goddamn grocery store. How about when going to said grocery store, I'm not then talked down to as though I'm fucking 5 years old? Or even better, the looks I get when I'm going across the street to go to my favorite health food store to pick up my kava tea. People staring at me like, how dare I not be accompanied by an adult when I'm a fucking 36-year-old woman? Or why I have to explain whenever I go alone anywhere why I'm not being with someone who's older than me or a fucking caretaker when I go to do anything by my goddamn self. See, my problem is, even though I look and sound and speak like one of them, they all know I'm not because I've been an advocate for many fucking years in this area. I'm a well-known face in regards to disability rights politics, neurodiversity politics, and autism politics. Because of that, these fuckers know me. And they take every opportunity that they can to let me know exactly what they think about me and people like me who dare to speak out about goddamn medical ableism, societal ableism, and political ableism, wherever the fuck I see it. Moving on. Some online have claimed that DNA data cannot be used for a cure because Spectrum 10K claimed they won't on a website. However, Dr. Monique Botha explains that a DNA could be used in further studies seeking a cure. Oh, there we are. I knew it. I knew it was gonna fucking be in there. I knew. I fucking just knew. In other words, they want to lull us into this sense of they're safe. They're not like Autism Speaks. They're not like the Judge Rotenberg Center. They're not like Next for Autism. They're the good group. We can trust them. They don't want to cure us. Just give them your DNA sample. It's okay. It's just to help you. And then, this is why we dig and suss these people out. Let's read that again. Some online have claimed that DNA cannot be used for a cure because Spectrum 10 claimed they won't on a website. However, Dr. Monique Botha explains how the DNA could be used in further studies seeking a cure. It's just more eugenics. We gotta cure these poor people. Now, before one of you fuckers get onto my goddamn videos and you start talking about, what about the nonverbals? What about, and show me someone having a meltdown in their most tenderest moment because their parent is an asshole looking for sympathy? Fucking don't and unsubscribe. Just fucking don't. I am goddamn tired of having to fight for our right to be able to live. Okay? Fucking done. There's the unsubscribe button. There's the door. Sorry, folks, I'm in a mood. Okay, let's read this. Monique Botha. If a group of scientists collect genetic data on a marginalized group with good intentions, but that data is open to people with more nefarious goals, then they have still facilitated those goals. Data sets get analyzed for one goal, and one alone. When a fund goes into creating a database of 10,000 autistic people, you can bet your bottom dollar it will become available to other sources. To say we won't, while facilitating other researchers doing it, is still doing it. It's just washing your hands after. Exactly. Exactly. You know what they say about the road to hell, don't you? But they want to improve health and well being of autistic people with this research. Surely that's a good thing. I expect even some people watching this video to say this. We're glad you asked. They state that it's their aim, but what is missing for me is the justification of why looking at autistic people's and our family's DNA will reach this goal. Thank you! Especially when, once again, as is so common in neurotypical research, the most common sense approach for doing this is somehow always fucking missed. How about making things not so fucking difficult? How about allowing autistic people to be our authentic autistic selves without having to mask and pretend to be somebody else every goddamn day of our lives to make you people more fucking comfortable and cozy? How about instead of using things like ABA, which makes us fucking miserable, and then using as justification when we have an autistic snap because we have to hide who we are every day we walk out the door, you just allow us to be our goddamn selves and to thrive in ways that we would like to thrive. How about reasonable accommodations, for God's sake? Moving on. Some autistic people also have conditions that would benefit from further medical research, but why was autism deemed to the root cause? Thank you! That's what I was talking about a moment ago. Why were they singling out autism as a reason as to why some of us have sleep issues? Fact of the matter is, more than likely, although it may be affected by our autism, sleep issues may have a completely separate thing and has nothing to goddamn do with it. Guess what, folks? Autism is not the root of all evil. I know. Shocker. Moving on. Again, there is no sources or references to back up this claim. Why are they not looking at the causes of medical conditions directly, rather than focusing on autism's genetic and environmental factors? Exactly. I used to have problems when I was a kid sleeping. Why? Because I don't sleep well with lights on and noises in the background. I need complete silence, darkness, and coolness. A lot of people who are not autistic are the same. My mom, for example. Just fucking saying. As non-autistic people also suffer from the conditions they list, such as gastrointestinal and epilepsy. Yeah, why the fuck are we tying gastrointestinal and epilepsy to autism? Yes, some of us have comorbid conditions, as do some neurotypicals. Epilepsy has nothing to fucking do with autism. Okay? God. Let me put it this way. the most common sense logical way I possibly can. Some people with autism have epilepsy. Epilepsy and autism are not related. You can have two comorbid conditions that have nothing to do with each other, except existing inside the same human being. Okay? We good? You understand that? God. Surely it's letting those people down, but going down the autism route to answer this, I have a lot of questions. Also, I really don't see how sending my DNA would benefit my well being. Exactly. Who is involved? Now, it's essential to look at who and which organizations are involved in this project. On Spectrum 10K, it states. Okay. I almost. Spectrum 10K is led by the University of Cambridge, the Wellcome Sanger Institute, and the University of California, Los Angeles, and is funded by the Wellcome Trust. The University of Cambridge Autism Research Center is carrying out this research with Simon Baron Cohen leads. Oh, God. Yeah, you already heard from me about that guy. If you ever delved into the world of autism research, you've undoubtedly come across this name. Unfortunately, he's responsible for several problematic autism theories, including theory of mind and extreme male brain theory, which I just explained to you. It's a bunch of bullshit. Yes, I am direct to the point. Yes, I am extremely logical and analytical. The fact that you suggest that a female cannot be these things and therefore must have a male mind is insulting and sexist as fuck. You just saying. Simon. For comprehensive critiques of his series, yeah, you can take a look because it's going to be in the description box if you want to see why this guy is. I mean, for a guy who's supposed to be so smart, he's a freaking moron. Okay. For somebody who spread such damaging and dehumanizing narrative about autism for decades, I'd be curious as to why his research department at Cambridge is involved in a study looking at genetic and environmental factors that contribute to autism. I'm assuming it's because their mission is to understand biomedical causes of autism and to evaluate promising interventions for autistic people. I'm finding it harder to believe Spectrum's 10K claim that the study will not look for a cure for autism and does not aim to eradicate autism is genuine. Although he's publicly supported the idea of neurodiversity in recent years, he hasn't retracted any of his theories that oppose the concept of neurodiversity. All I've heard him claim was regretting gendering the extreme male brain theory. Oh, you're sorry now. He did confirm on BBC Breakfast that they were looking for a genetic and environmental cause for autism with this study. There it is. There it is. Again, why is Baron Cohen so enthused to find the cause of autism? What is autism? On BBC Breakfast, Professor Sir Simon Baron Cohen explains why he's looking for 10,000 autistic people to take part in the UK's largest ever study of the condition. Hey, Chloe, dear, if you're listening to this, give this guy the middle finger from me, okay?
It is a disability. It affects social skills, communication, being able to manage unpredictable change. Some of these kids or autistic adults get very stressed at change.
Yeah, I get stressed at change. I manage it just fine, though. You make it sound like I am completely incapable and just shut down, curl into a ball, and rock and cry every time there's a change in my environment. That's not how it fucking works, Dr. Karen. That's not how it fucking works, okay? But thank you for, painting me as an infant who can't ever fucking figure anything out if everything's not the exact same every day.
But they just think differently. Their brain is developing differently right from the beginning. They're processing information differently. Some of those differences actually translate into gifts or talents. So it's a
Oh, for fuck's sake. Are we really going into the fucking gifted area again? Okay, folks, let me give you a little reality check about autism, okay? We are not all Raymond Babbitt, and the guy Raymond Babbitt was based off of didn't even have autism. This fucking trope that people with autism have special gifts. Like, are we the fucking X-Men? Is that what you're telling me? Really? And what about those of us that don't have these special gifts? Are we somehow less? Yeah.
complex condition, and this new study is trying to understand why do some autistic people have no language and others have good language? Why do some have learning difficulties and others don't? Why do some people have good mental health and others don't? And we're just inviting the general.
Okay, newsflash. When it comes to autism mental health, I can speak both as somebody who has mental health issues and as a person who has been in the field, Simon. Let me explain it to you. You people have fucked up our mental health. Okay? And the only reason why you think some of us have fantastic mental health is because we are so goddamn good at masking to hide ourselves from people like you that you can't even figure out the goddamn difference. Okay? Let me be blunt and clear here. There is not a single one of us that has not been harmed or traumatized in some fucking way by the goddamn medical community. I may have not been put in ABA, but I had fucking pills thrown at me since the 2nd grade. Because of those pills, it is now extremely difficult for me to be able to maintain a healthy weight. I have to go through a lot of shit and eat a certain way to maintain a certain weight and not shrink down to fucking nothing. I have nerve damage that causes constant spasms in my legs because of you fucking people. And if you don't think that's not traumatizing, to have a shrink who won't even fucking listening to you because you're autistic, and what do you know? Here, have some pills. Oh, you have ADHD. You don't really know anything but have pills. Because that's what they thought I was until I was 18. From 2nd grade until I was 18, when they finally figured it out, they thought I was ADHD. And they threw pills at me my entire life. And when I would ever speak up about any goddamn thing in my life, or I ever showed any type of sadness or anger or wanting to speak out about the way I was treated, I was slammed on fucking antidepressants. Okay? They rather literally zombify our asses instead of having us actually speak about what's going on. Drug us into compliance instead of meeting us halfway. Sorry.
General public, we want to get 10,000 autistic people to take part by going to our website, spectrum10k.org.
Don't do it.
Signing up, they'll be sent a DNA kit, a saliva kit. They just spit in a tube.
Don't trust
send
this
it back
man.
to us so we can look for the genetic causes of autism and the environmental ones.
Do not trust him. Okay, we're going to continue to read. Wilhelm Singer Institute is not an organization I am familiar with, but looking at their website, their primary purpose is to analyze DNA to help improve people's health. My question is, how are they defining health in the Spectrum 10K project? Is it autism, the physical and health conditions some autistic people have, or both? These are factors that need to be made public, so the motivations and purpose of the Wellcome Singer Institute for being part of Spectrum 10K can be thoroughly scrutinized. Next is UCLA, which was the birthplace of the controversial ABA therapy, which I do not support. Oh, it gets worse. Please read the resources below as to why ABA is problematic. Again, this link will be in the description. Look at these, please. Obviously, the peoples working at UCLA during the 1960s will not be practicing today. But what is not clear is the same department of the UCLA was involved with this project, and if so, they have genuinely addressed the problematic history of ABA. Or does the legacy of ABA studies carried out in the 1960s still influence their current research today? Again, this is not addressed on the Spectrum 10K website. Australia's CEO is an ambassador for this project, which raises a concern for me. Autistica were involved in the AIM-2 trials, excuse me, that aim to look for autism biomarkers so that the trials can find treatments. Eek. So looking back at Spectrum 10K's aim to investigate the genetic and environmental factors that contribute to autism, this rings alarm bells for me. Again, I also have to ask how Spectrum's 10K claim to be anti-cure and eugenics. When they have taken this stance, it makes no sense to me, and it is not adequately addressed on their website. Anne Monmont has pointed out that Autism Speaks potentially involved with the funding on Twitter. It needs to be determined because of Autism Speaks' awful practices over the years. Oh, if Autism Speaks is involved, run away. Run the fuck away, okay? Run. Here's a snip from this site of Spectrum 10K project, showing welcome funds to work. That is the welcome snip is being shown just above then. Spectrum 10K is led by University of Cambridge, by the Wellcome Trust. Gosh, this is a snip from the Autism Genome Project page, which shows that the main Phase 2 funders include Autism Speaks. Oh, son of a bitch. Don't walk, run! Do not give your DNA samples. Anything that Autism Speaks is involved with, walk away. Had to work very hard to get that data, as it's hidden behind layers of pages and links. Well. Well, what do we got? The Autism Genome Project is a large-scale genetic research project. The main Phase 2 funders are Autism Speaks. Of fucking course. You can't say that you are pro-neurodiversity and then accept money from Autism Speaks, okay? They want us gone. They love them some ABA. Yeah, do not fucking trust these people. Spectrum 10K is funded by the Wellcome Trust, which appears to fund many research projects, including mental health. I'd like to know how the Wellcome Trust decided to fund Spectrum 10K and how much. As these factors are not clear, and it also needs scrutinizing. Money. Although I have not found figures, I can imagine that a project to screen 10,000 people's DNA will be expensive, likely in the millions. Considering underfunded services, long diagnosing waiting times, and England's latest autism strategy isn't well funded, we all have to ask, why are millions being spent on this project when autistic people urgently need support and services that will meet their needs? Yes! Oh my god, yes. I've been saying this for years. Why the fuck do we throw away billions of dollars all the time to cure autism while families and people on the fucking spectrum suffer every day due to lack of funds and fucking support? God, thank you. Thank you, Sarah. They also claim on the Spectrum 10K website there are no direct benefits of taking part. So why is so much being invested in Spectrum 10K when there are no direct benefits to autistic people? Exactly. Also, they have celebrity endorsements to promote this campaign. Oh, fucking course they do. If you are one of those celebrities, I would like to know your genuine views of why you felt the need to be a part of this and how you think Spectrum 10K will benefit autistic people's lives. Undoubtedly, celebrities were paid a sizable fee to be ambassadors of Spectrum 10K. Still, this money is needed far more in education and social care so that autistic people's needs can actually be met. God forbid, right? Final thoughts? These are loopholes behind the shiny branding and celebrity ambassadors for our DNA to be exploited and used for purposes beyond what Spectrum 10K claims on their site. My view? Avoid this study entirely. Amen. My DNA is not for sale. I will not be responsible for autistic lives being prevented in the future. Alright, so there you have it, folks. For me, uh, hating autism speaks as long as I have ever since their goddamn I Am Autism video and their past support of the JRC. I'll have nothing to do with this study. Now, I'm just one person that doesn't live in the UK, but I have a lot of friends who do. And I would suggest you all stay the fuck away from this thing. Anything that autism speaks backs is not good for any of us. Not good for any of us. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out on this subject, folks. So, before we go, we don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit that like button. Hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. Feed that algorithm. I do appreciate your time. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.